Fight, 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 fight.
Hypocrisy.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota, and I feel very, very uncomfortable here. Like this, these road setups are always weird. Hold on. Put this big black thing closer to my mouth. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully this sounds okay. I have no idea. That's great. So yeah, we've got a little bit of show today, and I'm going to try and find all my resources for it. But we've got the New Mexico governor. He decided that it would be a good idea to suspend the right to carry guns because it's an emergency. So like, I guess there's an emergency because some people got shot somewhere, and therefore he's like, well, I mean, if people got shot though, I mean, that makes sense, right? We'll just take away guns. Okay. All right, cool. We'll talk about that. It didn't last long. She decided, female governor. I guess. I just figured it was I just figured it was a male feminist or something. I don't know. Who even knows? Who's keeping track of governors these days? Anyway, so we got that. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor in the Donald Trump prosecutions, is taking a big L. He tried to get the text messages of a congressman and got shut down in a unanimous ruling by the appeals court on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, which I don't know if you guys know this, but the D.C. Circuit is not the friendliest to Republicans in general. So they decided to shut down Jack Smith, and now she's very mad. Should we just keep this up? Should we do it this way the whole time? Like I'll just intentionally misgender people until I get banned from life? That'd be a good idea. The trans army will come and just staple me to the wall and shoot me with rainbows or something. So we've got that. And then we also have, we have something that I don't know if we're going to get to during the YouTube show for time reasons mainly. But Florida's put out an advisory on the new edition of the coof jab for the new edition of the coof. And it's kind of weird. I don't know. There's something very familiar about the warning about the new coof jab. It's not quite in alignment with the CDC. It's not quite there. We'll have to figure it out. We'll noodle through this together and talk about that. There's some other stuff that's been going on. I have a couple other stories. We'll see how we get to those as the night progresses. And as the night progresses is a really important part of this because I happen to procure from the shadiest damn liquor store I've ever been to tonight a really nice bottle of whiskey that I'm really anxious to try. I'm going to abuse this whiskey. I'm going to call it names, slap it around, say it's not good enough, try harder or whatever. No, it's Dickel Tennessee Reserve 17-year cask strength whiskey. So this is going to be some good stuff. I hope. I literally risked my life to get this. So people are noticing the different background, which is true. This is not, I don't know if people, it's so hard to like communicate on social media with like everybody, but I'm traveling. I'm not driving. I'm traveling on my land boat under the rules of Admiralty. I am in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I was here. Let's see. I got here Monday, and then Tuesday, we went to Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper with some friends. Camelot was there. I'm not gonna say that joke. Doug TeNapel was there, and then some personal friends were there with us as well. We had a really good time. It was a blast. Rob Zombie still puts on a great show, and the best part is I'm pretty sure none of his songs were young enough that they couldn't buy liquor on their own, which is fantastic. The last time I saw Rob Zombie was probably, it would have been 1999 or 2000, I think. It was the Dragula tour. So, I mean, we're talking a long fucking time ago. No Dick Masterson. No, Dick was not coming in for the show. The Dick will be in for my show on Saturday. That's coming up. So it was a blast. It was a really, really fun show. Really good time. We had a great setup at the Bridgestone Arena where they played. It was awesome. We had our own little like section. It was really cool. So yes, I'm not at home, which is also why there's been some inconsistency in the schedule. But working on, I've got a setup now. I've got a good spot where I can sit and do this. So I'm going to try and have a show tomorrow during the daytime. I've got a lunch engagement, and then I have a thing in the evening tomorrow, and I'm probably not going to have the ability to do a show tomorrow night. We're going to try and get one. We're going to squeeze one in between lunch and the dinner time tomorrow and have a show there. That's the plan right now, trying to schedule out my day. These past couple days were supposed to be scheduled out, but things didn't work out the way I'd planned. But that's okay. So we're going to try and get that Friday. There will not be a show. Again, I'm trying to let people know this. Friday, there will not be a show. There may be some day drinking meetups Friday around lunch or brunch time or whatever. Do men do brunch? I don't think so. So there's going to be brunch. There's going to be brunch Friday. I will try and announce that on Locals. And if you are in Nashville and want to meet up with some people to like go out and hit the town for a little bit on Friday during the day, I'm going to post if we're going to go out somewhere, go out to a bar and hang out, something like that. We'll do that. Saturday, there should be some pre-show activities. My live show is Saturday. Dick Masterson will be there. Cecil will be there, although Cecil is, I believe, not going to be up on stage. Doug TeNapel may be there as well, but I don't think he's going to be up on stage. Andrew Branca is going to be there. He will be up on stage. Dick Masterson will be on stage. Camelot will be on stage. I will be on stage. Drexel will be there. And I believe he may come up on stage too. We're going to have a fun time doing that. Kurt will be there as well, Uncivil Law. So that's going to be Saturday. You can still get tickets. The links are in the description on both YouTube and on Rumble. So if you want to get tickets to that show, just click that Eventbrite link and do that. I'm sorting out the VIP add-on. That should be up tomorrow, I guess. Try and get that up tomorrow. Basically, it's going to be backstage access to hang out in the green room with some fun stuff. It'll be good times. But that is at the 3rd and Lindsley Bar in Nashville. So come out, see us, hang out, drink with us, eat with us, whatever you want to do. It's going to be fun. With that, there was a pre-show Rumble rant that I definitely want to get to. We can kick off this show pretty soon here. But it's actually why I risked my entire life to go get this bottle of whiskey. Saw the shirt in the background. I have worn this shirt before. The background is, again, I'm at a secret undisclosed location in Nashville. So Updude says, still doing Thursday night. Yes, probably. That's the plan. We'll be out drinking. Okay, anyway. Let's do this. 808 Snickers over on Rumble says, it's my birthday. I missed a toast last year due to you taking time off from YouTube. Truly a fan. I learn a lot from you. Keep kicking ass. Fan of yours always. I don't know. I think don't think I was taking time off from YouTube. I might have been traveling. I'm trying to think what was happening September of last year. I don't know. I might have been at the art show last year because it was a little earlier this year than normal. Anyway, a cheers to you, 808 Snickers. Happy birthday twice in a row since I missed the first one. Hopefully you're having a very good time. And you know what? Keep looking forward to each one. As we get older, we learn how to enjoy ourselves a little bit more and rein in the things that we don't enjoy so much. Cheers to you. May your life be self-driven, self-guided, and self-fulfilling. It might have been banned on YouTube. Oh, yes, that's what it was. Thank you. That was when, yes, I was taking a break from 3 days of getting deleted. Oh my gosh. I completely forgot. And wow, that is very, very good whiskey. I'm a big fan. Fantastic. Very good. All right. Let's see. Was there anything else? I got to check over here. Doing these shows on the laptop is just, there's like not enough room in life to do it. Not enough screen real estate. Bringing another screen with you is really annoying. I've learned that. Allie B from Tennessee. Welcome to Paralegal Status. How's it going? Hey, wait a minute. Do I know you? I think I might. Jim Satala says the stripes over your right shoulder are really blurry and make my head hurt, or maybe it's just the bourbon I've been imbibing. Thanks for the content. I'm going to say both, and because I have a pretty narrow focused lens on my camera. So that is probably making them a little blurry with me barely in sync here. And also the bourbon and plus the lighting. Let's see. What was the last one? Well, Allie B, if you're who I think you are, I hope you had a good time at the show tonight. And I hope you, I hope everything went well there. So with that, where was you're pretty narrow. Yes, I'm a thin man. Oh wait, there was one more chat to read over here and some locals chats, and we'll get into it. Go for Big Guy 911 says, while you're in the neighborhood, you should visit the University of Louisville football stadium's private Angels Envy suite, where only the rarest of Angels Envy is served. Oh, it's Louisville, Kentucky. That's like what, an hour away? It sounds terrific. Intimidator 0108 says, hey, Nick, love the new setup. Hope you're doing well. By the way, I don't always tell my dad jokes, but when I do, he usually laughs. Also, fuck the governor of New Mexico and any other gun grabbing, constitutional violating Yahtzee. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to say it like over and over. I see people asking in the chat. We'll say it a million times. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Real quick, another thing I'm going to try and get done while I'm here is I talked about this the other day on a live show, but I'm going to do a very clickbaity titled video coming up. So make sure you click on it because my soft, gentle ego needs a little bit of stroking to become a firm, rigid, angry ego. But it's going to be very clickbaity, but it's going to be about Trump and the 14th Amendment and the attempt to disqualify him. So make sure you click on that and share it around because not enough people are talking about whether or not the 14th Amendment even applies to someone running for president at all. My argument is that it does not. And I covered this in the live stream the other day, but my argument would be that it does not. But it is an argument, and it's actually an argument both ways. This has never been decided. So we will be talking about that. I'm not actually convinced that it does by any measure. The wording of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, does not include the president. It does include less specific titles specifically. Very, very weird to do that. So I'll be putting out a video on that. trying to be very thorough with the coverage of it. But again, this is one of those questions that doesn't have answers. And we're going to run into that a little bit with Jack Smith today as well. People just do not realize how little of the Constitution is officially decided. They just assume everything is because pundits talk about it like it is. So we'll do that. We'll do that hopefully soon. That'll be a nice, like, short video, so people don't have to sift through hours and hours and hours of me blabbering to get to it, right? Other than that, don't tell him, because I don't want to ruin, like, the trip. You know, he's coming out here. But I am planning on denouncing Dick Masterson and Vito Gesualdi very, very soon. You know, it's just time. It's time to do that. And so we'll be putting out a video on that too, because really it's time to pony up on that one, and pay my homage to everything else. But please don't tell Dick till after the show. It'll be really awkward around here. Really? Yeah. Yeah, really. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely going to denounce Dick Masterson completely. What a piece of garbage that guy is. Oh God. Maybe I can get a train to hit him too. Clay N says, you were gone on my birthday. Toast 9/11 last year. Oh shit. Clay N, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday marred by a government. No, I'm just kidding. This is a joke. This is a joke. Stop. Marred by. Okay, I got to tell you guys a story. So I'm at the art event over this past weekend. And after the event on Saturday, I'm hanging out with some of my friends outside of our hotel. We're all just sitting around talking, eating some snacks, reveling in the liquor that we've all drank all night, just hanging out laughing. And this car pulls up. And these guys get out. Super nice. They're all Middle Eastern guys. They get out and they're just hanging out, talking to us. I think they're trying to pick up the lady that was with us. It was a friend of mine, but yeah, it was very awkward because her husband was sitting right there. But anyway, so they came out and we're talking about stuff, and they had like a soccer game coming up because, Middle Eastern or whatever. And my friend next to me, he's like, I don't even know how to tell this story because I have to leave out a lot of the context because it's very racist. Not really. He's like, I don't know how to tell this story, right? And these guys are right there. And so I text him. I'm like, here's how you start the story. So do you remember on 9/11 when those guys took over that plane? That's how you start the story, because like these Arab guys did not seem to belong there. Like, what are you guys doing at like 2 a.m? Oh, we just got back from a flight simulator class. Wow. Well, did you? It was just weird, man. They were just hanging out, like yakking at us. But again, I think the one was trying to pick up the lady. Kind of awkward, but it was fine. They were nice. They weren't pushy or anything. I mean, they did have vests on. They were blinking, but to Clay, and happy birthday, brother. May you always remember the good times and not the several thousand dead Americans and the, damage it did to our country in every other way that happened on your birthday. I blame you for it now. Book some brown coat. Says, I started with a personal trainer and nutritionist this week, paid 3 months in advance. By your logic, this means I'm proud to announce I'm no longer a fat. I'm just a fat in recovery. Yes. Good. Get it. Also, stop eating. It's the trick. It's the one hack that fitness trainers don't want you to know. Just don't eat. They were probably Kurdish, tons in Nashville. Well, this wasn't in Nashville. This is in Minneapolis. One of them was Iraqi. One of them who was visiting was Kuwaiti. He didn't speak English at all. The other guy, I believe, was also Iraqi as well. Misty says, did you just say you were going to run a train on Dick Masterson? Yes. Yep. All right. There we go. You've lost 45 pounds since you washed me last? Awesome. Congrats. Good job, Mitch Mythical. That's awesome. Okay. All right, let me see if I can pull up this story. If not, we'll have to. Gosh, this is doing this mobile is such a pain. Let's see. Oh, did you guys see the Virginia House candidate who is outed as a performer on Chatterbait? Did you guys see that story? I grabbed it on Monday. I grabbed it on Monday for a show. We might talk about that later. It's an interesting bit to me, actually. Because like Republicans are trying to use it as a gotcha, and Democrats are like, who cares? It's a weird sort of shift. And where was I talking about this? Was it on my show? I don't remember. Oh, I was talking about it with Ty. There was like the lady who's like, yeah, I'm a Christian porn star or whatever. There's like a shifting social view on pornography, mostly driven, I think, by the fact that women learned they can make a shitload of money on OnlyFans, like, and not even have to be the big time. Like the big time people make amounts of money. But if you get any notoriety on OnlyFans, you're making a salary very fast. And I think that money was enough to tip the scales on the country's opinion on quote unquote sex work, especially sex work that doesn't require actual sex or sexual intercourse with another person. You know, a lot of these chicks are just posting nudes or butthole pictures or whatever. And it's like just completely changing how a lot of society sees this stuff. You know, years ago, that would have been the death knell for any candidate. Nowadays, it's not. But I do want to say, I think it's different because she's a woman. I think if it was dude, he would be out. He'd be out on it. But you know, I don't know. I think there's someone a while back who predicted that at some point all of our politicians will have nude pictures out there, right? Just because the way the younger generation talks, they send nudes, texting nudes and snaps and stuff like that is becoming more and more commonplace. So eventually that's going to become a normative thing, not necessarily as a profession. But politics as we know it now is going to change dramatically as the current Zoomer generation ages into politics. It's going to be weird. I don't know how to deal with it. We may hit that story. We may not. First, though, we're going to hit this firearms in public in Albuquerque, New Mexico, if we can. So I saw this, and basically what happened. The governor of New Mexico, and this is going to be a shitty summary, so don't look at this as informative. A very shitty summary, but effectively, the governor of New Mexico is like, hey, some people got shot, and we are going to do a 30-day order due to the quote-unquote emergency. We're going to suspend the right to carry in Albuquerque. Like, which... Now, I know a lot of people came out, and this is actually really irritating because a lot of people like David Hogg got to come out and be like, well, there is no emergency exception to the Constitution. Yeah, David Hogg, fuck you. All right. Just go chew on some more pillows or whatever you do. But is there anything in the past couple years that you guys can think of that says that that would teach the government that maybe they could do whatever they want if they just say it's an emergency? Is there anything you guys can think of? Wait, did Joe raid the chat? My man Joe. Thank you. Man, I think there was like a big thing that happened where the government issued emergency orders and they just decided that no rights applied ever again. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was kind of COVID or something. COVID, some China thing, I think. And so we've got this thing now where everybody's like, as if it's common sense, spewing out on Twitter left and right. Oh, there is no emergency exception to your rights under the Constitution, which is true. Like, that's actually true. There is no such thing as an emergency exception to rights, except when it's written into the Constitution. For example, right? You cannot quarter soldiers in your house under the Third Amendment during peacetime. But if there were an invading force, we could actually foresee a time when soldiers could be quartered inside the homes of every American. Of course they could do that. That's an actual emergency. But the thing is, it's written in there. It's in the fucking text. It's very simple to follow that instructions. Like, oh, well, in peacetime, no soldiers. No peacetime, now we're talking. Okay, things are a little bit different. The right of habeas corpus can be completely suspended in wartime, as Abraham Lincoln took advantage of in jailing all journalists who spoke against him. But that was fine. But these things are laid out. And outside of that very explicit direction of how there are exceptions to the right, then we're supposed to just have a right. But the government doesn't believe it. They don't believe in your rights. They never have. For one, your rights are always a very inconvenient thing for them to figure out how to work around to do what they want. So let's take a look at this story. Let's take a look at it. I think I've got it here. Share screen, sharing like a communist. Where the fuck? Oh, here we go. All right. Judge, do I have this? Is this looking right? I don't even know. I can't see. I really need to bring a second monitor with me. Judge blocks suspension of right to carry firearms in public, siding against the New Mexico governor. A federal judge, I can make this bigger. Oh. Woo! That's what he said. A federal judge has blocked part of a public health order that suspended the right to carry guns in public across New Mexico's largest metro area, with criticism mounting and political divides widening over the Democratic governor's action. Like, look, everything's like widening and people are criticizing it because you can't fucking do it. But the thing is, they try to do it sneaky, right? Like trying to do it sneaky. Well, it's a 30-day order, an emergency public health thing for 30 days. They try to get it under the radar, right? This is one of the methods that they use to justify things. They'll slip it in. They'll put a short timeline on it and hope that people don't have time to challenge it, that the challenge won't go through, whatever it is. They'll try and just get rid of the ability to bring a challenge to this thing. And that's their strategy. And then once they do it and they establish grounds that this is something they can keep doing, then it's fine, right? Like, then they'll do it more and more. They'll find the way. So that was the plan. We got a couple of chats here. Better Dead Than Bread says, hey, Nick, can I get a birthday toast for my brother, John? I wanted to shout him out and let you know we love listening to your jokes and rants. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Thank you. Also, if you love listening to my jokes and rants, I will be performing stand-up for the first time in October 21st in Sartell, Minnesota. I'll be opening for Chrissy Mayer. If you want to come see me bomb harder than an Iranian, come on out there. Oh, shit. Cheers. Better Dead Than Bread. Cheers to your brother, John. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us and always having a good time. I'm glad you love listening to the jokes and rants. Please enjoy your birthday, John, and make fun of your sibling for spending money on you for this. Cheers. Okay. And then we've got a couple on YouTube to hit real quick as well. Shit, where we go? Charlie D'Angelo says, happy to be here with the legend himself. Big hugs. What's up, Charlie? Raging Cajun says, still hate that I was out of town when you came to Texas. Currently drinking some Garrison Brothers Guadalupe. Cheers, buddy. Hey, cheers to you, Raging Cajun. Amazing Wireless 2 says, please use this to buy another non-gay shirt. I'm going to buy 2 more gay shirts. Amazing Wireless 2 also says the Constitution sucks. It no longer allows me to buy black people. True. It doesn't do that. Cheesy Tarian says, when has the U.S. had peacetime? What is it? We had 17 total years of not having war. The interesting thing about that is we've technically not had a war since Korea. We've not had a war since Korea. So peacetime is arguably every time since what, the late 50s? But I really think that the peacetime matters much more about an invading force. I don't think that you're like, oh, well, we're at war overseas. That means that we are in war and now we can quarter soldiers in houses. Oh, was Korea also a police action? Could be. I couldn't remember. So then it would be World War II as the last declared war. There you go. Thank you for the correction. I thought they got one more in after World War II. I thought they just snuck that in a little bit, but the war on drugs. Yes. Okay, here we go. The ruling Wednesday by U.S. District Judge David Urias marks a setback for Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. The second-term governor imposed an emergency public health order Friday. It suspended the right to open carry or conceal guns in public places based on a statistical threshold for violent crime that applied only to Albuquerque and the surrounding area. She cited recent shootings around the state that left children dead, saying something needed to be done. And oh my God, can't you just hear it? Won't somebody think of the children? Oh, the children. It's always the fucking children. It's always just, if you want to know that a politician's doing some bullshit, just look for my children being the reason. They always do it. Well, somebody's got to protect the kids. No one else could possibly protect children. Like police can't do it. Parents can't do it. Nobody could do it. Just only a government imposition on people who aren't shooting children will protect the children. Because obviously, right, it's the people walking around with their, either constitutionally open carrying or like they're exercising their rights or they're concealed carrying. They're like, yeah, normal. It's obviously them who's out shooting children. They're just like, I'm just walking around with my gun. I'm like, oh, shoot, kid. Blam, 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 blam. Coming right for me. Every time. That's how it goes. It's always the legal user of the firearm. It's like otherwise, completely normal. And then they just see a kid and they're just compelled. They're like, holy blah, 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 blah. Every time, aliens, blah, 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 midgets, blah, 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 just shooting everybody. That's how it goes, right? Like that's what it is. So obviously, if you just logically bar the people who are normally legally carrying guns, well, then they won't be like, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to shoot this kid. Oh no. Oh God, my gun's at home. What am I going to do? Then they just run away from the children, obviously, because they're scared of them. Like this is the obvious thing. And it's a joke, but it's literally how they think. Or no, I can't give them that much credit. They don't actually think that way. They want us to think that they think that way. They know it's just an excuse. It's an excuse to grab power. It's an excuse to exercise control every single time. That's the reality. But then they want us to think it's like, well, if we just ban guns, then nobody will get shot. It's like, oh, well, why don't we ban murder? Like, why don't we just ban people getting shot? That seems like a great idea. Banning stuff works so well. But they know, like, they don't believe it. That's the thing. They don't believe it. But for some reason, they want us to think that they do. But it's not the average. There's something like 100 million gun owners in America. And there's over 300 million guns. And the total amount of gun death per year in the United States is around 35,000, I believe. And that includes the overwhelming majority of those being self-inflicted. Suicide, with the homicide rate being somewhere around 8,500 to 10,000. So when you think of 300 million guns or even 100 million gun owners, and then you come down to the reality that less than 10,000 people are shot and killed every year. It's shockingly low. I mean, that is a shockingly low number of people being killed by guns. It's unfathomably small when you really get down to it. That's nothing. Like, I know it sounds bad to be like, wow, 10,000 people getting killed is like nothing. But in the scope of the amount of accessibility to firearms there is in this country, that's nobody. And we're like freaking out constantly. Like, if we just ban guns, and all these deaths won't happen. It's like the overwhelming majority of guns aren't used to kill anybody. So why would banning them, which would necessarily only constitute banning the overwhelming majority of them at best, how would that solve the problem? Those aren't the gun. I don't know, man. Here's what I know. The liquor store that I went to tonight, I wish I was carrying. Because holy shit. My life was in danger. I'm standing outside with these bags of whiskey waiting for the Uber. And this guy walks up on me, kind of serious, right? And look, it's Nashville, not too far from downtown. Guys, how do we describe it? Huh? The guy's urban with some face tattoos. And this is my people. Not a problem with it. But he walks up on me hard. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like this white guy. I got this gay shirt on. Giant rape me thing on the back of my shirt. And he walks up on me fast. And he's like, hey, man, dig the shirt. And then he walks off. And I was like, yeah, brother. Thanks. That was awesome. Super nice. Barely an inconvenience. He was cool. I was like, shit, if I had a gun, he'd probably be dead. Just kidding. Actually, that wasn't the problem. The people who are like out don't bother me so much. People who are in the stores and stuff. But that parking lot was just busy as shit with people not doing anything. That's where I was like, okay, why are these people like sitting around in cars? But anyway, he was nice, but I was nervous the entire time. Let's get back to the show. Wait, no, we got who the hell? Morgan Estill says, I was armed at the protest in Albuquerque on Sunday. I'm now the thumbnail for numerous videos on news videos on YouTube. And I'm in Brandon Herrera's video on the topic. Please toast the other patriots who are there. Cheers to everybody who does the proper, nonviolent, civil disobedience, civil protest to stand up for our rights. You guys who do this, the people who go out and just calmly and peacefully exercise their rights are truly the heroes of America. I mean that with every sense of my being, as close as I can get to weeping on the subject as possible. Give me just a second. Here's the toast for that. But it reminds me of when I was in Philadelphia earlier this year. And Lady Rackets and I were touring Old Town Philadelphia, and where the Constitution was like, not like where they started planning everything out. And I just remember one of the, there's one of the signs on this church, and it was a Catholic church, and they wanted to close it down. And the Catholic priest said, no, basically, we have the right to do this. We have the right to exercise our religion. I don't remember the exact quote, but it made me a little sniffly, a little allergy laden. And I'm sitting there like, the bravery, right? Like the bravery of this humble priest to just stand there and say no to the government in Philadelphia in the 1700s when there's nowhere to go. Like you can't just leave if you get like accosted. Like if the cops become hostile to you, if the government becomes hostile to you in town now, you can relocate. But you couldn't then. It wasn't so easy. And he did. And there's all these little instances of that throughout the times. And you're like, God, these men stood up and did this crazy stuff. And then you realize that, no, Men and women across the country stand up and do this stuff every day. They do. They're doing the same thing. They are. They're walking out there and saying, no, these are our rights. This is our Constitution. You cannot fuck with us like this. And the fact that these guys got quoted, it's like one guy gets quoted, but it's 10,000 people next to him doing the same thing. The one person gets the quote, the 10,000 infuse it with soul. That's every one of you out there who stands up for the Constitution every day. Congrats and cheers to you guys for fighting for our fucking rights. Because not enough people do. Fagan's Law says we have constitutional carry here in Indiana. Folks love it. Cops hate it. Of course they do. Makes things difficult. Makes things difficult. Someone might have a gun. Yep. Think twice about baiting them, aren't you? Okay, back to this shit. That's probably back to this. Urias, who was appointed to the federal bench by President Joe Biden, Robinette, agreed Wednesday with plaintiffs who have accused Lujan Grisham of trampling on the constitutional rights. Urias granted a temporary restraining order to block the governor's suspension of gun rights until another hearing is held in early October, which, of course, will be damn near the end of the 30 days. Urias said he doesn't blame Lujan Grisham for trying to do something, quote, in the face of these terrible deaths. I do. Government, stop trying to do something. Instead, try doing nothing. Try just not fucking doing anything. Can you do that one? Can you just be a government that exists for a little bit instead of a government that does? The government does not need to fix every fucking problem that comes up. I have a friend who was in Congress. He was in state Congress in Minnesota. Super nice guy. Love him to death. Very, very conservative, rigid conservative. He and I actually disagree on a lot of stuff, but I know he's a good, genuine man. His heart's in the right place, right? He's legislating his belief and his convictions, which I admire because you know what they are and you follow them. But yet, someone comes up with a thing. He's like, no, I don't stand for that on principle. I'm a freedom-loving American. I can't abide by the government imposition of this rights. And they parade in some family. Some family comes into his office and they're like, okay, well, sir, we just got to tell you our story about how our teenager got killed by X, this issue we're trying to tackle. And he says, how do I sit there and tell that family that I'm going to vote against the thing that would have saved their teenager? And I said, you say, look, what happened to your child is tragic. There is nothing in the world that can bring your child back. And nothing in the world would I've wanted more than to prevent your child from being taken from you. But I cannot in good conscience violate the rights of the citizens because tragedy occurred. Because if we did that, if every tragic thing were answered with a violation of rights, we would have none left. That's the answer. And it's hard and it's horrible. But it's got to be the answer. You can't, honestly, because you can always find a dead kid. There are dead kids all over. Look around like the Biden's house or what. There's dead kids everywhere. There's a dead kid behind every fucking issue. And it sucks because I really hate the fact that kids die. I hate the idea of a parent burying their child. I have 5 of them. Losing one of them it'd be devastating. Life ending in so many ways. And yet, do I want everyone's rights trampled for a little bit more safety for my child? No. I want my child to have the maximum amount of safety, but I feel like a lot of that's my responsibility, not the government. So we've got oh shit. Cheesy Tarian says, you say that's on you, not me. Yeah. I mean, you have to empathize with them. And how could you not? How could you not empathize with them? Like they lost a child, right? Like they're devastated. They just want someone. They just want someone to hear them out. And really, that's what so many politicians miss. That's what so many politicians miss, is that they just want someone to hear them. And I had to learn this in a different context. When I was a lawyer, practicing lawyer, I guess, I'm still a lawyer, technically. Got to renew on October 1st. Still a lawyer, but when I was practicing more actively and taking on clients, I had a very hard time saying no, because everybody's got a headline. Like they come to you with the sad, it's the elevator pitch. They give you their story and you're like, Jesus, this sucks, right? And so you're like, yeah, I don't know how to take your case. You can't pay. I don't have time, whatever. And they, you say yes to everything. And as I started doing this and was able to take on less and less cases, even just the other day while driving with Lady Rackets to get to Nashville, someone called and they asked if it was my firm. I said yes. And they, asked if I took a particular type of case. I said, I'm not taking any clients right now. So, well, please just hear my story and then decide. And so I listened to their story and it's fucking terrible. It's a terrible story. And you hate to say, no, I'm not the person who can help you. You hate to do that, but you kind of have to. That's what government needs to learn. That's what government needs to learn, is that you do not, just because someone comes and they tell you their story, they definitely want someone to listen. They don't need someone to act. They don't need someone to act. Mermaid, I haven't checked my email. I'll check it today or tomorrow and get back to you. Okay. Back to this story. It just pisses me off. The government thinks they have to always do something to solve our problems. No, I prefer you do nothing. So back to this, the judge says his duty is to decide a much more narrow question regarding the rights afforded under the U.S. Constitution. Governor, in a statement issued Wednesday, said she would not be resigned to the status quo. I see the pain of families who lost their loved ones to gun violence every single day. And I will never stop fighting to prevent other families from enduring these tragedies. Well, why don't you work on policing the problem rather than the political solution that appeals to your base? She said, although she acknowledged previously that criminals likely would ignore her order. Yes, of course they will. Luan Grisham also pledged to increase state police presence in Bernalillo County and to focus on arresting those with outstanding warrants. Oh, that sounds racist. She also said she would direct the healthcare system to expand capacity to deal with drug addiction and homelessness. Lawyers for the plaintiffs told the judge that the governor had other options to address the problem, but chose the inflict what some critics have described as a punishment on law-abiding residents. The Second Amendment has no exception, said Jason Bowles, an Albuquerque attorney who is representing the National Association for Gun Rights, the Naggers. That's real. That's not a meme group. That's a real group. Oh my God. The Naggers. Okay. It has no part that says as long as a state governor can issue an emergency, you're allowed to take our citizens' firearms. It doesn't say that. There's no case that ever said that. There's no historical evidence of that. There's no support for it. I mean, again, there is COVID where they did that with every other right. I don't know why gun rights would be special here. They're not special anywhere else. Connecticut-based attorney Cameron Atkinson, who represents We the Patriots USA, and Bernalillo County resident Dennis Smith, characterized the governor's action as emotional reaction to heartbreaking tragedies. We get that people's hearts are broken, he said outside the courthouse, but the answer to tragedy is not take away from the people who need it most, the means to protect themselves and their families. State police had authority under the order to assess civil penalties and a fine of up to $5,000. The sheriff and Albuquerque's police chief had refused to enforce the firearms ban. And big ups to them on doing that. Big ups to them on refusing to enforce it. But look at how they do this, right? Well, look, it's just a civil penalty, not a criminal one. It's not a crime. It's just a civil penalty. Up to $5,000, though. Up to $5,000. By the way, why are you guys? I see a lot of talk about Kurt. What's going on, man? Kurt's coming to my show on Saturday. Is he doing okay? I got to check him out. Okay, back to this. Almost done with this article. The rest of the public health order, including directives for monthly inspections of firearms dealers statewide, reports on gunshot victims at New Mexico hospitals, and wastewater testing for illicit substances remains intact. Wait. Wastewater testing for illicit substances? Wow. That's interesting. So water comes out of your poop chute of your house, not your butt. Like it had to come, like poop comes out of your butt, and then water comes out of the poop chute of the house. And the government's just testing it? Testing water at schools? Weird. How would you, how does that help? How does that actually help? Like, water. I know water can come out of your butt. I'm just saying, like, that's not the norm. The fuck? That baffles me. I'm sitting here trying to figure out where the testing occurs, like where they could get a sample that would develop any level of cause to do anything further. Because, I mean, hear me out, right? Like if you're wastewater sampling like downstream from multiple buildings or residences or a multi-residential building, like you just find out, okay, there's something, right? Like, okay, there's heroin. That doesn't help you. But like if you test at each house, that seems ungodly expensive and cumbersome. I guess maybe if you get a tip, you're like, well, just the tip, we can test the wastewater at the house, maybe. All right. Very weird, man. I'm just trying to figure out, guys, they don't have the time and the manpower to police all these shootings and the gang violence and the shoplifting. They're testing your shit that comes out of your sewer. They're testing the shit that comes out of your sewer for drugs, but they don't have time to police the fucking store. They don't have time to save you when your house has been burgled or whatever. They don't have time to respond to a Grand Theft Auto report. They're testing the shit out of your sewer pipes. How many boosters did you get? Are you talking about like COVID? I didn't take the vaccine at all. They're testing. They're sending out people to test sewage, but they can't fucking stop crime. The war on drugs has seriously, it has fucked the country irreparably. It's insane. Like, everything comes down to drugs at the end of the day. And they haven't done an effective job of curbing them. They've only gotten worse. All they've done is justify the trampling of rights. How did I get 5 kids? I stole them. Damn. That's great. Like, okay, anyway, that's baffling to me. Let's bring this back up. We'll finish out this article, then we'll move over to Rumble exclusively. But yeah, of course, monthly inspections of gun shops. I mean, too bad. They wanted to do business with guns, so you know, that's on them, I guess. That's okay. That's fine. They just monthly inspect firearms dealers, make them comply with whatever they come up with. Holly Agahanian, the governor's chief counsel, said the order will save lives. That's not the question, you dumb bitch. That is not the fucking question. Question is not if the order will save lives. Look, you could just order everyone to stay inside and order McDonald's to provide food for everybody forever. And like on a rigid diet selected by government dietitians that would keep everybody the maximum level of alive. You could save lives. You could do it by just not letting people leave their fucking houses. It's the plot of every dystopian robot takeover fantasy ever called iRobot. Actually, not everyone, but just that one specifically. But you save people by keeping them in their house and just making sure their basic necessities are cared for and turning them into slaves. Like, it's very easy to save lives when you do that. But that's not freedom. That's not the question. No one asked you to save us. I wish when our police officers walk down the street, they could see people wearing a shirt that said good guy and somebody with the shirt that said bad guy, she said, but that doesn't exist. Actually, you know what? I got news for you. Agilanahan or whatever your name is. I got news for you. The people open carrying often are wearing the shirt that says good guy. Like, the people open carrying are not your concern. Thank you, Stacy Q. Much appreciated. The people open carrying are not generally the problem. It's insane. The way they keep doing this, they act like it's constitutional carry people with like a giant Gadsden flag patch on their shirt or whatever that are walking around murder. No, it's fucking gangs. It's gangs. Gangs are responsible for the overwhelming majority of gun deaths in America. It's embarrassing. The level of gun violence from gangs is huge. And then after that, it's domestic. It's people who know each other, usually spouses, something involving a spouse or family member, some sort of crazy shit like that. Because it's just proximity and opportunity that increases the likelihood of death. That's it. But oddly enough, gangs are the biggest percentage of it by a fucking mile. Okay. Shit. Let me pull this article back up. So many windows. Republicans in the legislative majority have called for impeachment proceedings against the governor, saying that her actions make for a slippery slope. Some people like that when it comes to the use of public health orders to affect policy changes. And look, I don't think their impeachment's going to go far, but I agree with it 100%. Impeach all governors who want to impose an emergency order to clamp down rights, because it's like hiring someone, right, with purple hair and like their shirt says my pronouns are he/fuck you or whatever. Like, it's like hiring someone like that. You're asking yourself, you're asking for trouble. You're setting yourself up for this shit. And if you keep a governor like that in office, same with Whitmer. By the way, Michigan, biggest cucks in the world. I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy your tyranny. Put the balls of tyranny deep down your throat. Gargle them. Hope the hair doesn't get stuck in your teeth or whatever. Because if you keep reelecting these people who hate your rights and hate you, they hate you. They think you're lesser than them. If you keep electing them, you get what you fucking deserve. What am I drinking tonight? We've got George Dickel, Tennessee whiskey, reserve cask strength, 17 years. This is a fantastic bottle of whiskey, and I'm enjoying it very much. Okay, back to this. Those concerns have resonated with the residents who have protested in Albuquerque's public plazas. They say the governor is testing the boundaries of her executive authority again after using public health orders for aggressive lockdowns during the outset of the coronavirus pandemic. You all let them do it. They all let them do it. Everybody let their governors do this. The legislatures, the judges, everybody just let them do this. And now they're like, why do these governors think they can do this? You fucking told them they could. They're children. They're children. If you tell them they can eat cake today, they're going to eat cake tomorrow. Even top Democrats, including New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres, have suggested that the governor's time would have been better spent developing comprehensive legislation to tackle the issue. New Mexico is an open carry state, so the governor's order suspending the open and concealed carry of firearms affected anyone in Bernalillo County who can legally own a gun, with some exceptions. Just over 14,500 people in Bernalillo County had an active concealed carry license, according to an AP analysis of data provided by the New Mexico Department of Public Safety for the 2023 fiscal year. But if you have constitutional open carry, you don't need a concealed carry permit. Statewide, including Bernalillo County, the 2023 fiscal year data showed just over 45,000 active concealed carry licenses. New Mexico Chiefs of Police Association, other top law enforcement officials, and Albuquerque Mayor Tim Keller are among those who are calling for a special legislative session to tackle gun violence. Look, I don't know if I have any chiefs of police in this audience anymore. I know at times I have. I've talked to some of them. That being said, fuck off. With respect. Fuck off. The Chiefs of Police Association, you can lick my taint. You guys care nothing for constitutional rights, as demonstrated over and over and over in every statement you make about everything. Fuck you. Cheers. And for the person who keeps asking if I'm going to have Null and Drex on a stream, no, they can deal with that on their own shit. Keller and Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina on Tuesday outlined what the city has been doing to address crime, saying law enforcement and judicial officials have been meeting since 2021 to develop legislative priorities. Now, their efforts to fix what they referred to as a broken criminal justice system. I love it. I love it. This is such a bureaucrat answer, right? Well, what have you guys been doing since 2020? We've been meeting. We've been meeting. Okay. All right. Like, that's your effort? You've been meeting? Cool. I guess. It's such a fucking corporate answer, isn't it? The official said many of the proposals have been watered down to the point of being ineffective, and vital programs have gone without needed funding. Translation. Yeah, everything we suggested was unconstitutional. Albuquerque families can't afford political debates that distract us from fighting violent crime, Keller said. This is a powerful moment to listen to police and behavioral health professionals to create the change we need in a special session. Literally never, 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 never. This is a time to listen to police and behavioral health professionals, as if a gun is to your fucking head, isn't it? Just listen to us pros, bro. We'll lead you the right way, bro. We'll just go ahead and do it, bro. We got experts, bro. Sketchy Jesus says, what's up, rackets? Love the unbreaded content. Would love to have you on our live stream. The Whiskey Capitalist sent you a DM on X about it recently. Just had Drex on, about to have Viva Fry on soon. Happy to do so, Sketchy Jesus. I did get that I got that DM. I haven't responded yet, but I did see it. So yeah, I saw Whiskey Capitalist. Yeah, I'd like to go to there. I'd like to go there. Amazing. Just listen to us. We'll tell you what's right. Starcraft SF says, cheers to you, Rackets, for whatever you're drinking. Have me be blessed with a 21-year Glenlivet archive. Should have chosen the Macallan 30 that was offered, though. Both of those are going to be good. You quit your bitching. Quit your bitching. Now I would take the Glen over the Macallan, honestly. Like Macallans are just like, they're so good. Yeah, we know, Macallan, you're a good whiskey, okay? Fuck you. I take the Glen over it, though. Cheers. Okay. We got to talk about a word from our sponsor for the show. Show has 2 sponsors today. One of them, of course, is me live in Nashville on Saturday with several friends, Dick Masterson, Kumalat, Andrew Branca, and my man Drexel up on stage. In the crowd, we will have Cecil. Oh, wait, Kurt may join us too. We got Kurt on civil law. We got Cecil in the crowd. He doesn't want to be up on stage, wants to just hang out. And also Doug Tenaple may be there as well. Please go ahead and come out. The links are in both YouTube and Rumble's descriptions. You can check out the Eventbrite page, grab some tickets, come have a good time, drink with us. And yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fantastic. We'll tell some jokes, tell some stories, have some laughs. Most importantly, have some good times and hand jobs and all that stuff. And the naggers are invited too. So come do that. It'll be a blast. If you're in the Nashville area, of course, I know. It's not easy for everybody to get out. I'm trying to host these around the country. We had the first one in Vegas, this one in Nashville. We'll see what's up for next year. Yeah, Dick, Cecil, and Doug. Isn't it great? BLT. Every comics drama person in America should be there. But would I do Philly again next year? Well, I didn't do Philly this past year. I joined other people in Philly, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So yeah, it'll be a great show. You can come tell us all to eat shit or whatever. Jack Sparrow says, I'm late and I'm drunk, so I just wanted to let you know you're my Binger Blue. Binger Blue? You're my Binger Blue too. Is Bronca going to be wearing the tie or not? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sorry, I did a Brittany Venti impression by burping into the microphone. Very, very unprofessional and uncouth of me. Yeah, I think Bronca will be no tie Bronca. Look, we try to just skirt the edge of getting kicked out of a venue. But the venue, I went down to the venue today. It looks awesome. Very Nashville. Very Nashville. Very, very cool. And it looks like it's going to be a fun time. So we'll do that on Saturday. The other sponsor of the show, I don't have any with me because I actually ran out, but I love them very, very much. And that is, of course, fieldofgreens.com. Promo code NOSE. Look, Brickhouse Nutrition has Field of Greens. It's a supplement, sort of. It's not like a vitamin supplement or a mineral supplement or whatever it is. It's just very simple. There's a benefit of some sort to having, some shit in your diet that's not meat, like vegetables or whatever. And this is how you get it really easily. It's just ground up fruits and vegetables. That's it. There's no chemicals, no weird additives, no bullshit put in there, no like health food. It's just healthy shit that you can pour into a beverage of some sort, shake it up, drink it, tastes good. It's great. Get you fruits and vegetables into your diet every day. If you're like me, you don't have a lot of time, you're busy, maybe cook a steak, but you don't want to cook like all the other stuff that comes with it. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code NOSE. Have a good tasting drink. Drink it with your liquor, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's all good. It's all good. Huge fan of Field of Greens. Like, unironically, I drank all of the stuff that I have at home. I got to get more from them because I'm out. But I've liked all their products. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. You saw it. When I first tried the lemon lime, didn't like it. After about 10 times trying it, grew on me. Liked it. It was good. But the other flavors were better. Wild berry was great. The original was great. Lemon lime just wasn't my personal thing at first. It became good later. So with that said, fieldofgreens.com, promo code knows, get yourself a discount. It's they're good people, good product, and all they want to do is get some vegetables and fruit in your ass, but through the mouth. They don't want to go in the other way. That's for a different show. Go check them out. Use promo code knows. Thank you guys for that. And I love Field of Greens because they don't care if I make jokes that are inappropriate while selling their product. Like this one, for example. Field of Greens. They learned how to efficiently pack fruits and vegetables into small canisters the same way Hitler did. October 21st, baby. Stand-up act. We're going to get Chrissy canceled. All right. Where are we? That was probably a bit much. Cheesy Tarian says, can Field of Greens beat your local government poop test? Yes. Jack Sparrow, any chance you would check out the corner crossing case from Wyoming? Huge implications in the West over public land access. I have no idea what that is. Maybe. M169, you lucky bastard. Cooper and Rob Zombie, nice to have you back online. Yes, I'm sorry. Like, I know that it gets really annoying when I travel in various ways, or to various things, like because my travel schedule fucks up the show, and people have gotten very accustomed in the past to me doing 4 and 5 days a week shows. I know it gets frustrating, but the good news is that this is the last planned trip for quite a while. I'm sure there's going to be one-off stuff here and there, but this is the last long planned trip I have. And I'm not sure that I'm going to have anything else by the end of the year. Believe me, I would love to do a vacation in December because I hate being fucking cold, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to with my kids' schedules and stuff like that. So after this, it should be fairly normal back on schedule shows. And remembering I get home on Tuesday of next week. Monday, there may be a show from a hotel. Maybe. It depends where we are, what we can do, but we'll be traveling back. Tuesday of next week is when I get back, and that's when everything should resume to normal. But yeah, so look, I know it does get frustrating because it's like, oh shit, I watch the show all the time and this asshole isn't even working. Believe me, if it were easier to stream out, I would, but because of when I have my schedule for at home, my schedule at home is around my kids' schedule, right? 11 p.m. They're asleep. They're not going to come in and disrupt the show as much. I have time. It used to be my video game playing time was 11 to about 2. It's like, oh, that's when I do my hobbies. I don't really have those anymore because I don't have time. This replaced all of that quite a while ago. And that's why I picked this time slot, was it was the least disruptive to my family life. But when I'm out, when I'm traveling and meeting up with people, I go out at night quite a bit. We go out to bars, we meet up with people, we go to people's houses and hang out because we tend to know people wherever we're going. Like we have friends here in Nashville that we like to visit too. So all of that makes for difficult times to do nighttime stuff. And last night we had the Rob Zombie concert, for example. So like all of that shit becomes, trying. So my apologies for not being as consistent lately, but I believe this is the last trip I have for quite some time. But we're trying to do I'm trying to do a show tomorrow. Again, if you missed the announcement at the beginning of the show today, tomorrow night, almost guaranteed there will not be a show tomorrow night. Like, everybody would have to be sick and dying or whatever. But tomorrow daytime, between 11 and 6 p.m. Central Time, 11 a.m., I have lunch with a friend. And then 6 p.m., I'm going to go grab some friends from the airport. So like between that time, though, looking to do a show from this very spot that'll happen in the daytime. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Twitter and locals for the announcement. But yeah, no show tomorrow night. Guaranteed no show Friday night. Guaranteed no show Saturday night, which there wouldn't normally be, but there will. We're going to attempt to live stream the live show in Nashville. All right, let me finish up these super chats. We'll move over to Rumble. Logic says, isn't the New Mexico Attorney General obligated to defend the governor's grab? Yes. If he was forced to, wouldn't that set uncomfortable precedent for future gun grabbers? Yes, but he agrees with it. Make no mistake. Kate of the Swiss says, what's up, my knickers? Hey, what's up? Speedy the Unsilent says, sup, Nick? Stitches come out Friday, but cannot make the 16th show because I'm closing on my house. But Friday, I will be in Nashville to get my stitches out. Well, Speedy, maybe you can come hang out with us during the daytime. Marrero, so did you get any videos or photos from the show? Maybe even a podcast. Videos or photos from the show of Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper? I've got a photo of me and Lady Rackets, which is kind of funny because I hate the way I look in it. I look like I'm about to murder her, which is true. I look terrible. But yeah, I don't know. We don't take a lot of photos and post them too much these days, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get some photos from the event on Saturday. Is the live show going to be recorded? Eric PP, yes, the live show is going to be recorded. It will be available exclusively to Locals members. Where are we? Where the fuck did that go? Oh, here we go. Dave A. Nick, it was a 30-day health order banning public open carry. Bernalillo County Sheriff held a press conference on AP announcing he won't enforce it, and this is the second gun grab she tried. Yeah, garbage politicians, but nope, hell nope. Didn't they end qualified immunity out there? Nope. Qualified immunity has not been ended yet. Cheesy-tarian. Governors for Gitmo, they all should at least be waterboarded. Bare minimum, their cells should never see a shadow. Slawaboga, 1. I meant not to Fed post. I'm from Idaho, so it's in the water. Were you Fed posting? I don't think the deep state 3-letter agency's Wall Street can be defeated normally. 2, we'll take a president deploying en masse Army and Marines to overwhelm these people's headquarters to shock and cow them. Maybe, or maybe we could just get some, congressional action, but probably not. CF says, Michigan here, governor making ads luring progressives. Crime in our area skyrocketed. Can't move. We aren't all cucks, but are apparently surrounded. Oh, make no mistake. Make no mistake. I know that you, the good people of Michigan, are not cucks, obviously. There's just a contingent of your state that is. Dude, I'm from Minnesota, bruh. I know all about it. Like, whatever. Fucking communists, man. No, dude, I get it. 100%. Like there's just enough urban centers to tip the scales in the favor of a democratic government, and you get fucked left and right because of it. Okay, I think this is the last one on YouTube. Yeah, big one from Brian Law. It says, honestly, if there were a God with a poetic sense of justice, that cow in New Mexico would be thrown in a 6x8 cell without a trial. And when she whines about her rights being violated, we all collectively go, lol, no rights are absolute. Yep, that would be fucking great, wouldn't it? That would be just terrific. With that said, we are going to move over to Rumble. I love you all. I'll see you there in just a minute. If you are not someone who ventures over to the Rumble stream, or if you haven't for a while, come check it out. Rumble is getting better by the day. They make lots of improvements to the UI, to the functionality, to the back end, to the stuttering and the hiccups and the loading stuff. That is getting better. I know people have had not the best time with it, but give it a shot every now and then. Or, to those of you who watch it all the time and really enjoy it, I'll see you over there. If not, hope to see you guys tomorrow during the daytime. If you peace out right now. Otherwise, I'll see you on Rumble in just a second, baby. Peace.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen,